Hi, Cougars and Stars. April is Autism Awareness or Autism Acceptance Month. Today, we are going to read Nathan's Autism Spectrum Superpowers, written by Lorileigh Yarborough and illustrated by Natalie Merheb. This book was published in 2010 by 139 Inspired. Nathan's Autism Spectrum Superpowers. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I have superpowers. Okay, so maybe my superpowers don't include superhuman strength or the ability to fly, although that would be very cool. My powers come from my autism spectrum abilities. Autism affects how I interact with other people and the world around me, how I communicate with others, and how I learn and process information. The official term is Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ASD, but I just say autism. Spectrum means kids with autism have a range of their own unique abilities and challenges. For example, some kids on the spectrum are nonverbal. That means they do not use words to express themselves. Other kids on the spectrum not only talk, but will sometimes use really big words. But all kids on the spectrum have some aspect of communication delay. If you don't have autism superpowers, don't worry. It doesn't mean you're any less awesome. It just means we interact differently with the world around us. If you do have autism superpowers, you still may not have the same ones I have because of how we process information in our own ways. An example of this is most kids with autism usually underreact, are hyposensitive, or overreact, are hypersensitive to sensory input. We have trouble with sensory information. These are things we see, hear, taste, smell, and touch, and even the way we move around. Our bodies can think the sensory information is too strong, and then we want to avoid it. Or the sensory information is too weak, and then we seek it out. So let me tell you all about my superpowers and how they affect my interaction with the world. My first superpower is supersonic hearing. Noises seem much louder to me than they do to most people. Blaring music, fireworks booming, people yelling, those things drive me crazy. You want to know what else bothers me? The buzz of the light bulbs, the hand dryers in public restrooms, and the loud hum of a vacuum. They may seem like background noise to others, but when I hear them, I just can't think. Sometimes when my supersonic hearing takes over, I can't pay attention when I should. Other times, I curl up in a corner with my hands over my ears to try to block out the noise. And if you look there's a hint for friends who are not on the spectrum to help those are. Another superpower I have is what I like to call absolute select focus, or ASF for short. All this means is that I can choose to focus every ounce of my energy, thought, and attention to one thing or one activity, and that makes me happy. Too much going on around me feels overwhelming, so I enjoy having just one thing at a time to concentrate on. I love to lie on the floor and roll my wooden trains back and forth on their tracks all day long, or line up my matchbox cars in a perfect row, or construct creations with brick sets. I even love to draw funny doodles and create intricate mazes and fold origami creations. I can pay attention to something I am interested in for hours and hours and be perfectly content. My next superpower is my ability to have complete confidence in my plan A. Okay, so this isn't actually a superpower. This has more to do with my unique toolbox. My mom says everyone is born with a toolbox. But instead of hammers and pliers, this kind of toolbox has things to help me deal with different situations. My toolbox was missing a couple of items, like a plan B. This basically means that when something happens, I have no way to deal with it. I only have one way, my plan A. And if my plan A doesn't work out, I have no idea what to do next. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Sometimes when my plan A doesn't work out, I get so frustrated that I lose control and yell and run into a wall because I don't know what else to do. Luckily, I have my mom who is very good at putting on her calm face and modeling a plan B for me. She shows me how to deal with the situation step by step, over and over again, until I finally understand what to do next. Mom calls it putting tools in my toolbox. It turns out that it's really great to have those tools and know how to use them. Thanks, Mom. Another superpower that can overwhelm me is my super sniffer. I really don't like strong smells, especially BO, body odor, bad breath, perfume, or even scented lotion. Some foods even offend my super sniffer. So, if I suddenly leave an area or make a remark about a smell, blame it on my super sniffer. Interestingly, some kids with autism love strong smells, and their super sniffer seeks them out. My superpower of intense, enhanced eyesight seems to kick in when I'm somewhere with strobe lights, bright lights, or blinking lights. Sometimes even with ordinary ceiling lights. My eyes overreact and my whole system goes haywire. When this happens, my only hope is to cover my face to block out as much as I can. My mom helps me move somewhere that doesn't bother me. Sometimes that means just stopping our activities for the day and going home. One of my favorite superpowers is my masterful memory. I love reading, and learning about my favorite subjects. I've memorized books. I even know what pages contain the facts. Of course, that only applies to information that interests me. I enjoy facts, lots and lots of facts. It might surprise you, but even though I love facts, I have a very hard time remembering people's faces and names. I've been told it's because faces have a lot of movement and information, and that can be overwhelming. But give me a mini-figure dictionary, and I can memorize every single character, along with the year it was made. Excuse me. A superpower that can be frustrating when my routine changes is regular routine retention. This means I love a routine. Eating the same thing for breakfast every day in the morning, doing the same activities during the day, going to the same places and staying for the same amount of time. I hate change. Change is my kryptonite. Change comes from the dark side. I need to know way ahead of time if things are going to be different. And even then, I don't like it. Sorry. The next superpower is my actual, factual, literal power. I literally take things literally, which means if you tell me a joke, I may not get the funny part. I take what you say and believe it exactly the way you've said it. I'm not even kidding. I see things in black and white. This means I don't understand sarcasm, and I don't like surprises. This also means I like things that make sense in a way that I can understand. Raining cats and dogs? There are good and bad things about having superpowers. The bad is that most powers don't come with a reaction regulator. It's very hard to regulate or control my emotions. When I get hurt or scared or frustrated, my emotions go straight from feeling great to ready to explode, and I completely overreact. My mom made a scale for me to help visualize what my reactions should be when different things happen. I call this my reaction regulator. It has numbers from 1 to 5 to go along with emotion levels. It goes something like this. Mom points to the scale and says, "Nathan, you lost your favorite minifigure." That is a 2, which is the same as bummer and not total emergency. You need to bring your emotion and reaction down to a level 2. Overreaction. Here's your helpful hint. And here's a chart that you can make for yourself to help you deal with your overreactions or your underreactions. My brain is always thinking about something. This is called my perpetual automatic brain activation. I'll just be sitting somewhere trying to pay attention when my brain starts thinking about other stuff that's completely different. And I can't make it stop. A lot of times, I'm thinking about several things at once, like doodles I'm working on, my favorite video game creation, and my current building brick project, all at the same time. It's very hard to pay attention to what I'm supposed to be thinking about when my perpetual automatic brain activation is working. I feel like I'm going to completely locked into my current project and can't leave until I finish. These superpowers. What's a guy to do? If you're on the autism spectrum, you probably have some unique if you are on the autism spectrum, you probably have some of the same unique powers as me. And you also have some that are unique to you. Make a list of your superpowers. You have superpowers. You're awesome. You're uniquely you. Energy levels. My mom helped me figure out activities that are energy draining and activities that are energy building. I usually imagine my energy levels like a battery. Sometimes I tell my mom how much percent my battery has left. Like, Mom, I'm powering down. I'm at 15%. We try and limit energy draining activities and add energy building activities into my daily schedule. This really helps me deal with my life better, and the energy builders recharge my battery. Nathan's energy drainers: leaving the house, field trips, eating, traveling, and sports. Nathan's energy builders: building bricks, doodling, swinging or spinning, video games, and a heavy blanket. You can make your own chart of energy builders and energy drainers as well. Encouragement. All of my superpowers put together can sometimes make me seem what people call socially awkward. I don't get jokes. I can't read body language. I don't care what I wear, as long as my clothes are soft and loose. I prefer to process life like a robot. I just don't act or respond the same as other kids. Until people understand my superpowers, they won't ever fully understand me or appreciate me for who I am. My mom always says, we need to be kind and encourage each other. We need to build each other's strengths instead of focusing on each other's weaknesses. For now, I'm going to appreciate my own autism spectrum superpowers and encourage others to appreciate people for who they are. Well, that was exhausting. I'm going to go play with my building bricks in my room by myself. My dear loved ones, if you are on the autism spectrum, make a list of your superpowers. Make a list of your energy drainers and your energy builders. If you are not on the autism spectrum, but you have friends or family members that are, Take a look at the hints in the book so you can learn how to help them communicate better with you and in the world around you. See you soon.